That is not
What do you
fun.
think? I mean, there are people in the world, probably half of my listeners, like the idea of inoffensive comedy, like it sounds like a pejorative in terms of comedy, oxymoronic, contradictory. The idea that you could be funny without hurting people, without taking anybody down, without like attacking, without wounding and things. But you're pretty much like your stand up is Giggle Fit. Is and
It's
Comedy
the name of the
Central.
special, yeah.
You also got your well, we'll talk about getting better in a second, but but like you would characterize your goal when you get on stage, or maybe not your goal, but like your MO is like you're not leaving a body count, right? You're not like
No.
you're not hurting people.
I never understood that as a theme of what comedy needs to be. That there are, I mean, sure, sometimes you attack things, but I think your job as a comedian, I'm a student of comedy. I love comedy. I've loved comedy since I was a young child. And every good comedian I saw, it was like, you speak truth to power. You take down people bigger than you. You point out the inconsistencies in the status quo. You don't just attack people to attack people. You don't just go like, oh, okay, like Mexicans or this like that. Like that's building the status quo. That's reinforcing like what people are saying. When your job usually is that you're as a jester, you don't make fun of the townspeople. You make fun of the king. You know. So like I take that job, think that very seriously.
So do you do some punching up in your opinion? I mean, is it like it is punching, but it's punching up, or like...
I mean, a little bit for the most part. I'm also very. I mean, I guess I would say I'm narcissistic in my own ways in the regard. Like I prefer just talking about me and my life and what's going on. That's what's exciting to me. I've never been excited about those type of things. I mean, I think my mom just said, she's like, we're not very passionate people.
She's just explaining that to company when they come over.
Yeah.
You have to understand, the Funches are not passionate people.
Like I don't care about much. I care about my son. I care about my family. I care about a few things. But like it would be very just not truthful of me to go up there and be, this is what I'm ranting about. This is what I'm upset about.
I got 10 minutes about abortion legislation because I'm like so focused on that because I have so many wry
like
quips
last
about
year
it.
there was like 6 comedy specials I watched. Cause I watch a lot of comedy specials and stuff. Still, there were like 6 last year, all with like these Caitlyn Jenner jokes. And I know it's even hacked to even talk about it now. But I was just like, why did you guys care so much? Why did you give a fuck? Like. That's how you spend your day?
Yeah.
But sitting around thinking about Caitlyn Jenner and what Caitlyn Jenner wants to do? I met Caitlyn Jenner, not a person worth talking about.
Whoa, shots fired.
I think the cycle that happens, my theory about it is, from talking to my therapist about just like generally like about how positive and negative shit sticks and whatever, and how negative shit sticks so much easier. And so it's like, jokes that we remember, they're often attached to satire, and like somebody gets taken down a peg, or something happens, something shifts. Oh, that person made that joke, and then that was like a kaboom, and it sticks in your memory for the same reason that, and if somebody says like, oh, you're wearing that shirt again, sticks longer than someone saying, I like your shirt, which doesn't stick at all. And so I think when people are in the nascent stages of their comedic ambitions, they're kind of like, how do I be funny? And they sit by that stream of society and they go, well, most important thing is I'll sit here, I'll watch some stuff, and I'll try to think about like what I might say that would be funny about it. And they're going to tend to slide into, well, what would I say that would be taking this thing apart? You know, kind of Joel McHaling the Kardashians, or David Spading the whatevers, like, and it, because that's the stuff that kind of spikes on the EKG, I guess. It sticks in your memory.
Yeah,
but then I think about like Steve Martin. My memory of him is like he'd come out and he would just do this like weird one-person show. It was just humor. It was absurd and
Well, I just think it's easier. It's easier to tear apart than to build. So like when you're trying to actually build jokes that don't do that, it just takes longer. It's harder. Sometimes people don't get them right away. So it's just harder.
The beauty of Steve Martin's stuff was that he was clearly intellectual, but he was silly, and so we got to watch an intellect be stupid, like for us. And
it's so crazy to me to watch those old ones and be like, this is a stadium full of people watching a guy put an arrow in.
And he would go, I'm a wild and crazy guy. And the whole place would, like Madison Square Garden would cheer. It's crazy.
It's interesting though. It's talking about this family tree of comedy or whatever you call it. Like he was never personal. He wouldn't go.
Yeah.
So here's what's going on with me. Neither was he political. So George Carlin, very political. Not a lot of personal to George Carlin, right? Like George Carlin wouldn't like pause, take a glass of water, break down, and go. So, anyways, I'm married, et cetera. Bill Cosby drew all these stories from marriage and children, but like how transparent was it? You're very personal. You talk about raising an autistic kid. You talk about like your life. Like I have no question about this. I just like wanted to like go into that area. Like if you're sitting and you're going, I think I'll share this thing about being a single dad, raising an autistic kid. Like, are there ground rules? Do you think to yourself, like, is my kid going to be 30 and listen to this on a hologram disc one day and get the wrong idea? What are the thoughts that go through your head in terms of filtration?
I probably should think more about it. And
yeah, you should.
Yeah. But no, I just like to talk about what I love, and I just try to talk about it with love. I think that's been my main goal, is to make sure people, talking about my son in particular, I just trying to make sure people knew that I wasn't making fun of him, and I wasn't trying to be like, oh, my son has this disability, and this is what's funny about it.
Right.
It's just more like, this is just a part of my life. This is my son. He does some funny things, and these are some just other misunderstandings that have happened. This is just a part of my life. So I just always try to do that. The same thing with my mom. The same thing with anyone that I talk about. I just try to make sure I don't, Louis C.K. it, and just where you're just making everything like, my fucking kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have stuff to say about that. I like Louis' style is so like, he would pace the stage like a caged animal, and he would talk like Charlie Brown, and it had this like viscera to it. And he like, but it was like, is it bad to do that if it's not actually transparent? If it's like a periscope that's bouncing off of two mirrors, is it like,
yeah?
And does any of that matter? Is it Machiavellian where it's like, well, they laughed, so, but I'm like, yeah, but what if they're laughing at like because they think that you're real? What if they think that Tim Allen really does go home and go, oh,
yeah,
and like I don't know what crimes are being committed when, or what comedy's supposed to be. I just
well,
find
I
that
just
stuff
think you never
fascinating.
want to be too far from who you are. There's a thing, with any performance and performers. Everybody who know me know I love wrestling, and if any really good wrestlers are always like a turned up version of themselves, and I feel like that's what I try to be as a performer. Is that like you're usually catching me at my happiest, at my most jovial, where I'm trying to have fun. Is that me 24/7? Not at all.
Right.
But that's what I'm trying to put forth at that time, and I just try to make sure that I think when you as a human get too far away from your act, that's when things start to crumble and fall apart from you in life in all regards. And that's why I write personally, and that's why I try to change up my act. And I'm never like I always, when I first started, I always hated when I see a comedian perform and it'd be like, me and my girlfriend, and then they go, oh, I'm single,
Right.
And it's like,
I got married recently, and then they
like,
applaud
which one
to a
is
goat.
it?
Yeah.
Tell me the truth. Now
Yeah.
I don't trust anything that you're saying.
It is weird.
Like, I'm willing to go with you on any ride as long as you set up the rules and then follow those fucking rules.
Yeah. It is weird because there was that wave of stand up where it was like look, we're not jesters anymore, we're not wearing makeup, and it was even past, then there was the past the Judy Tenuta phase. We've had like
I love Tenuta, by the way.
I'm not bagging on that phase. I like Bob Goldthwait's was part. It was like there was that phase of stand up where it was like another form of purity where it was like fuck it, then we're all characters. Emo Phillips is an amazing joke writer, and like, is he doing a character? Is he not? You meet him in person, and you're like, kind of the same guy, etc. Like that kind of like pedal to the metal character comedy where you're just performing in a more of the Steve Martin tradition, or even like the Steve Allen, or the what was the guy with the fiddle? God damn it, the Henny Youngman kind of like, I'm going to tell a joke. Anyways, but the coming out of that character phase, going into the alternative, like, hands back in the pockets, look at the floor and be real phase. And then it was like the exploitation of that was, I always found very odd when I was younger, when people would say they would purposely exploit the audience's adaptation to the stand-up form by saying, I recently got engaged, and knowing that everyone would actually applaud, not because they believe in a construct, but because they actually believe you. Because why would you stand on a stage in a sport jacket and tell people you got engaged unless you recently did? And then to say to a goat and like have everybody go, oh, I guess I'm a piece of shit. Like I guess I'm just beating your dead horse. Like it's like, why? Like I always found that very odd. But then again, I was a terrible stand-up. I could never write a joke to save my life.
To me, it'd just be like if a magician was showing you this trick and then it was just like, nah, I'm just fucking with you.
Dan, what was your best closer when you were a stand-up?
Fuck you. My stand-up was horrible.
Give me a closer. Give me one of your closers.
I was 17 years old. It was bad.
Schraub looks very excited about this.
You can't let's not even talk about it.
No, we can talk about it.
No, it was.
Give me a closer.
I didn't have a fucking closer. I would do a rap about masturbation.
Nice. Raps are the first way you start.
It would make the audience would applaud, or I mean, clap their hands. No, thank you.
I did a rap. I did a game show that was stupid.
Ron, what was your first like shitty closer like that?
My very first set, I just talked about man boobs for like 10 minutes, and then I was I read a thing because I was doing my research.
Right.
I read a thing about how people would take pantyhose and cut out the crotch, put it over their head, and wear it as like a T-shirt to combat man boobs. And so then my thing was like I would take off my shirt and I'd be wearing that. It killed.
Because it's personal. It's real.
Yeah, it's true to my life.